There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play? They're here.
Welcome to the Horror Cut.
What's up, horror fans? How we doing? Steg here from the Horror Cut. We are back for part 2 of our Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween extravaganza. I am here with Gary Hewitt.
No, I am Chet, the bringer of death. As one random character says in this film.
Part 2. Here we go. Here we go. What can we say about 2009's Halloween 2?
More crazy than the curse of Michael Myers, that's what.
Yeah, did you ever see the producer's cut, part 6?
Yeah, I've seen both. I like part 6.
Part 6 was, you always seen it on, the first time I seen part 6 was in Channel 5.
Yeah, I was going to say Channel 5, yep. Lots of ad breaks.
Oh, it says, I think I recorded it.
Yeah.
Loads of ad breaks.
The film has aged just as well as Paul Rudd. Who's in part 6?
Who's in part 6, aye. Producer's cut, I only seen that maybe, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, and I was like, shit, this makes a lot more sense. And
You've got the tattoo.
I do,
the Thorn tattoo.
Yeah,
you must be a fan.
Teresa's, yeah. Yeah, kind of similar thing. We can chat in regards to different cuts. On this film, I watched the director's cut, I think extra 15 minutes. And Gary watched theatrical, from what I'm led to believe.
No idea, mate.
No clue.
No clue. Whatever cut it wasn't any better or any worse than the first time I seen this film. I have watched this film 3 times. We are a positive podcast. I can't get into it. Right.
Okay.
So Steg will be taking the lead on this one. But no, I've got some interesting things to bring up, ask, question, see your thoughts on. But yeah, the first time I seen this film, I was like, what the fuck is this? And then the second time I was like, right, okay, I now going into it, I know there's going to be this kind of synergy with him and his mum. There's going to be kind of these dream sequences. Can I now go and appreciate it just as a film? Maybe not looking at it as a Halloween film, just try and go and enjoy it and see what it's trying to say. Man, I still don't know what it's trying to say. Okay. I don't. So that's kind of my history with this film. Yeah, let's see if we can find 3 positive points to say.
Yeah, I first seen it when it came out. I was in Florida at the time. I went to the cinema to see it with my then partner, and it was wild because there was no one in the theatre. 2 people came and sat right behind us. We were sitting in the middle row, and then these 2 people just plotted themselves right behind us, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, in America, I'm like, am I going to get shot?
Sorry to our American listeners there.
It just felt really weird why you would sit in an empty theatre. Right? It's like when you're taking a pee and you're in the urinals, and it's like an empty bathroom, and then someone just walks in and pees right next to you. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Sit somewhere else.
Yeah, Karen will appreciate that. She hates when she books the cinema and then somebody books right beside her when it's like half empty.
Yeah.
But where are you sitting in the middle? Because some people are like best viewing experience, even if there is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was middle, maybe middle, but come on guys. Come on. So I've never seen it there, and I was just like, yeah, the film was pretty jarring. I left feeling like, it's hard as well, I was in Florida, roasting hot, so it was a weird film to go and see. And I just remember leaving and being like, that was interesting.
That was a film.
That was a film. The brutality of it did stick with me, and I did like those aspects. And then over the years, I think I watched it during COVID. I don't know, I think it may have been the theatrical again, and I watched it after watching Rob Zombie's first Halloween, and I was like, oh, these characters are doing my fucking head in They are really annoying me. Nah, didn't enjoy it. And then watching it again, and I've watched it other times since then, but there's always been something that's drawn me to it, put it that way. But after watching it the other night, I'm like, yeah, I like it a lot more than I initially thought. But again, that could just be because I've watched the director's cut.
Okay, so we can get to those differences that you noticed as well. But it is worth saying that Rob Zombie didn't want to do this, and you kind of mentioned it on the previous podcast that he basically took a deal where if he did this one, could they write him out of part 3? But I think it shows that he didn't want to do this. I think he eventually went, fuck it, I'll bring back Michael's mum, me and the missus can make a bit of money off of this film, and we'll just go on holiday. That's what it feels like. They're forcing him to do it, fines. He'll get his missus a wee bit of a paycheck as well, and then they'll just bugger off and leave the franchise a mess.
Because it would have been like, what did he entail? What did he imagine the third film was going to be? How did he see that? Has he maybe brought elements that he wanted to do with that? Has he brought them forward? Has he maybe just scrapped some of it and went, fuck it, I'm just going to do something else? I have no idea. I've got no clue.
Yeah. So, will I do the synopsis for this one?
Go for it.
Okay. So we pick up 2 years after...
Mm-hmm.
Is it 2 years or 1 year?
2.
Yeah. So we pick up 2 years after the events of Rob Zombie's Halloween. Both Annie and Laurie are in therapy after what's happened to them. Laurie keeps having visions of getting killed at the hospital by Michael. Meanwhile, Michael is travelling the wilderness with his dead mum on a horseback. With his dead mum and a white horse. Eventually, he decides to pick off some randomers and then head back to Haddonfield to kidnap Laurie and go to a barn.
Nice.
And before the police show up, a helicopter shows up, but it looks like it's a UFO landing or something. And we're out.
And we are out, yes.
Lock the place up tight. I don't want any surprises till I get there in the morning.
6 guys to lift 1 stiff. That's one for the books.
Help! I'm trapped. Ah! Help me!
Since the authorities haven't been able to produce a body, do you think Michael's alive or dead?
Will he kill again?
Let me make things clear. Michael Myers is dead. D-E-A-D.
So, how are you feeling?
Nightmares are chewing at my head again. They just seem to be getting worse.
I've had 4 calls about Michael Myers today, all in the space of 10 minutes.
Are you a giant?
So the film does start Laurie walking down the street covered in blood. Same night as the first Sheriff Brackett finds her.
Yes.
Yeah. She says that she killed him. We then move to the hospital. And this is, Halloween 2 is the original is set in the hospital. Another film that, it's funny because even John Carpenter didn't want that to happen. He brought on quite late in the game, didn't he? The film for the first 20 minutes.
A long time.
So 25 minutes is set in the hospital. Yeah, Laurie's in bed, she's broken legs, she's got heaps of shit wrong with her. And we think that this is where the film is picking off from the first one. Should we talk about that scene then?
Yeah, I mean, my first point is kind of the story anyway, and I think the hospital scene is great, and it's brave not to stick to the hospital like the original Halloween 2. And it's brave to make it like a dream/memory, because it's not really a memory because Michael didn't ever attack her in the hospital. The nurse is Octavia Spencer.
Yeah.
Huge Oscar nominated, possibly winner as well. Don't know what she's doing in this film, but and it's funny because I think it's a great kind of chase scene with Michael and Laurie in the hospital. It feels like they've put the original Halloween 2 into a short film.
Yeah.
to give the audience something that they want before taking them on this other ride. There's a scene in it after Laurie sees the nurse being brutally murdered. She runs down a dark corridor and she runs into another victim who's got his eyes gouged out. And at that point, I'm like, don't worry about that. Loomis survived that from H1. That guy's going to be fine as well.
Yeah, right. Absolutely fine.
And then, she runs into the car park, right? And then she runs into Buddy, the security guy.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it in horror movies when someone is panicking and they're frantic, the person doesn't just go, slow down, say it again? Why do they have to talk over the person just before they die, like a good friend, Buddy, the security guard?
Yeah.
It really annoys me.
Rest in peace, Buddy.
Just listen to them.
Yeah.
Like, rather than going, I'll just, you're shivering, let me put a jacket on you.
I'll go and get the car. It's like, listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But again, you could get away with it because it's like, this was revealed to be a dream, which is fine. Can I ask, did you see shots in your version of Laurie getting wheeled into the hospital?
On a gurney?
Aye.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, it's great.
I absolutely love it. I love the dialogue when because to me it's real. Mm-hmm. She's asking, "Am I going to die? Am I going to die?" And the way she's saying it, you're like, "Fuck!" It's so
high energy as well.
High energy,
frantic.
and it's frantic, and it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Covered in blood and the panic. I'm like, quite.
I have really nothing wrong to say about this film for the first 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Like from Laurie walking down the street to Sheriff Brackett finding her, to that chaos of her getting rushed into the hospital, to her getting chased by Michael through it, right up to the point with Buddy in the car park. That's my...
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's great. And then even when she wakes up from it, I remember seeing that in the cinema. I was like, oh shit, this is not what we're doing. I was like,
yeah. Friday the 13th done it as well, didn't it? The remake, that done the same thing.
Yes.
The first 25 minutes, you're like,
I give that a lot of credit though, because it introduced us to 4 characters, and then they're all gone.
It took them away.
It's very brave to do that.
I think it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the theatrical, was there a shot when Laurie's running away through the sort of, she's in the basement or something, and there's a shot of a pile of bodies?
No, I don't think so.
That's in the theatre, and I'm like, where did this come from? It's like, I think she might land in this big old container full of dead bodies, and then she gets out and keeps running. I'm like, where the hell did that come from? I don't know if it's like him going, he's trying to signal to the audience, this isn't real, this is a dream. Because you would go, why is that there?
No, I would give him more credit than that, because what really annoys me is in horror movies, Scream does it several times, but why is it when there's an attack in a hospital, there is no staff members?
Oh my God.
Right, so Halloween 2 does it, the original. The Scream 5, the requel, there's 2 scenes where someone's attacked in a hospital. Scream 4, the ending, does it. At least in this director's cut that you're talking about, if there's a big pile of bodies, it says, Michael's killed a bunch of people already, he's working his way towards Laurie. He's picking them off like Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid.
I don't think it's saying that he did it, because it's in a container where you would think they were stored, but you don't store dead bodies in a big old container that's like a big cylinder, like a big circle, and a shot down on it. It's kind of red.
But could he just be lobbing them in there as he's killing them?
That's a lot of people.
That's what I mean, though. But at least it answers it.
That's a lot of people. Maybe, I don't know. But to me, I was just like, why is that there?
Right.
And I think to me, that's to say this is a dream.
Fair.
I don't want to say if you blink, you'll miss it, but it's there for a couple of seconds and it's gone.
Fair. I didn't notice it in my cut.
Okay. Do you want to talk about Olivia Spencer's death? That's the first kill that we see, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, we can talk about it. It is brutal. This was my first part where I went, Rob, mate, what are you doing, man? What are you doing here? Right? What do you think? Can you work out what I'm talking about?
Because he's growling.
He's grunting, man, yes. Why has Michael started grunting? Now, I've got a lot of other things to say about Michael in this, so we don't need to talk about it now. But this is the first part. I'm like, why? Why are we suddenly grunting? Now, if I wanted to, positive podcast, if I was to give a reason to it, is Laurie has been through a lot over Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Michael's been through a lot too.
Poor Michael.
And then he gets shot in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Is it, and this isn't me joking now, is it like Rob Zombie trying to say, like, he was silent and he was a killer, but now he's pissed. Now there's no holding back, and even he can't control the evil that it's literally coming out with grunts and stuff. But then there's other bits where he doesn't grunt, and then there's other bits where he does again. It's very all over the place, and there's other parts like that as well.
Yeah. To me, it's like, yeah, that's what I've been pissed off, and I think he's literally putting his whole body weight behind these killings now. They've been up in levels of brutality. And when he dies at the end of when he gets shot in it, when do you see the shot to the face?
No, it's on camera. Is on. So in the last Halloween, the camera is on Michael. She's clicking the gun, but there's no bullets. He wakes up, his eyes open. He goes to grab the gun. We cut to Laurie. She fires, and you just see the blood spray on her face.
So
and then
we don't know where he was shot. Then we don't really know where he was shot.
Yeah.
Really. Okay. Yeah. I can't remember what it was in the one I've seen, but yeah, that is the gist of it. It does end that way. Okay, so we're in the hospital. Octavia Spencer's died brutally. Fuck.
It must be about 20 stabbings or something.
Oh, you see like the knife hilt going right in, and just her facial expression, and it's like there's a darker feel to this film. Aye, and then gets a hold of Laurie, slashes, and it cuts. Laurie screaming. She wakes up, and she's 2 years in the future.
Yeah. So let's talk about kind of the story. Like, why is obviously Michael through this film is seeing visions of his younger self in the clown costume, so probably when the killing started, I guess, and his mum as this like angel-like figure with a white horse. So what is the film trying to say? Is he killing for his mum? Like, why? Like, what's this journey that they're going on? Because if it is killing for his mum, we've seen it before. Go back even further, Psycho. So you've got Psycho, you've got Jason Voorhees. So there's nothing really new there. Like, even certain Friday the 13th, you actually see Mrs. Voorhees, like, images of her going, kill her for mummy. Like, so, and that's kind of doing the same thing here with the angel kind of idea. Let's talk about the elephant. I mean, the horse in the room.
The horse in the room. Because that is what's revealed is that she is then, obviously we find out her name.
Deborah.
Laurie's name.
Who?
Angel.
Oh, yeah.
Angel Myers.
Oh, right, okay.
That you're like, okay.
I never put that together.
Yeah. She's so you're bringing that, and obviously they've got the quote with the white horse at the start, and I think what he's trying to get at is this is what is guiding Michael to Laurie, the vision of his mother and the white horse.
Okay, just to throw in there, like, because I want to like this film more, so to play devil's advocate on that, his mum wasn't dead when he started the killings, though. Like, he killed the bully, he killed Ronnie, he killed Judith, he killed the nurse, all before his mum commits suicide. So, what was driving that?
Yeah, that's good. That's a great point. I don't know. No idea.
Sorry.
No, that's a good point. It's good.
Well, that's why I'm like, okay, where are we going with this now? Like, it's still quite not there, whatever he was kind of trying.
But again, maybe that's because going back to the first one, maybe that is what tips him over the edge. Maybe he is a killer and he's going through stuff because his environment and sort of how he's grew up and traumatic experience. Maybe the death of his mother is what solidifies it, and it goes into a more inward sting.
Maybe, yeah. Because I also thought about maybe, like, in the afterlife, maybe the idea is that his mum is calling on him, like beckoning him to do it. Like she's almost becomes this like pagan witch in the afterlife.
Yeah.
But we just spent an episode talking about how his mum was actually quite nurturing and loving and caring, and she seemed the most distraught about what had happened to her son. So then it doesn't make that personality doesn't come over to Halloween 2. You know, it'd be different if she was like, stop this, or there was like,
oh, the personality of,
of Deborah Myers.
Deborah Myers, now that she's,
you know, it's not the same character.
Yeah,
as the mum.
It's not the same character, but then again, this is all coming through the mind of Michael. This is seen a bit of a glimpse into what he's seen. He's probably seen it as we have to be reunited because we are the trio that his family is that trio. Him.
That's because they killed one of them. They could have been a square.
I know, but they were the only ones who were actually ever nice to him. They were the only ones who were loving. The mum was loving. The little baby was loving because she's a baby. The rest of them were fucking arseholes to him. So in his head, it's like reuniting that trio, that trinity, as I guess the driving factor.
Okay,
maybe. You could have dropped the symbolism with a horse. You could have put it at the start and told us what that meant, and we'd have been like, all right, I don't think you had to show it.
Even if it was just at one point, you seen a horse walking in a field.
Yeah, or even, I think one of my notes is like, show it a lot fucking less. Maybe not show it at the start of the film when he's because he's in wandering around.
It's after the coroners. It's after he takes out the coroner's van.
Aye,
that's when he first sees it.
And that's interesting because we've not seen that in the first film. So this is after he's been
transported.
Maybe it goes back to what you're saying. It could be another psychological break in his psyche that's making him now see this. I don't know. I'm clutching at straws.
So here's one. Is Michael actually dead? He is now just evil. So he's been shot in the face. They have a crash, and then he gets up after it. So you're saying that the trinity of like bringing him, Laurie, and the mum together, but Laurie's alive and he's technically alive, and the mum's dead, and young Michael is part of his mind. So what do you think the plan was when they got them all together?
No clue.
It's weird, it's like nothing's. It's just there's something missing in this film, and it's already pretty much 2 hours long.
Because what do we do? Do we kill her? Then with 3 years are reunited, we kill her. So
but then he's still
alive.
You know, it's kind of weird. And I guess just on that same note, how is Laurie having visions of young Michael and the mum? Because she sees the mum and young Michael, and she has also this weird vision where she is like young Michael killing Ronnie, but in Ronnie's place is Annie. Do you remember that scene?
Say that again.
Exactly. It's so confusing. Laurie has a vision / dream, and it's the scene where young Michael is killing Ronnie, but it's Annie that's in the chair.
Oh yeah, that's right, yeah.
Like, how is that tying into it as well? How is she seeing Michael's mum? How is she seeing young Michael? What do you think is connecting them?
I think there's there's obviously the aspect of the post-traumatic stress that Laurie's clearly suffering from. And I think it's sort of trying to delve into that a little bit and maybe show her symptoms where there might be no connection in this because the trauma's stemming from what happened to her 2 years ago. And it could just be showing this as part of her symptoms, showing that because of maybe what she did to Michael by shooting him, even though he fucking deserved it, she's got a killer instinct in her, in a sense. Is that because she's related to Michael? Or
This is like
because she's a survivor, you know? I think a girl who's just a normal girl and then she kills someone or proceed to kill someone, I think that in itself, after being attacked, is just adding to that trauma.
So do you think it's like what they tried to do with Daniel Harris in Scream 4 and Daniel Harris. Do you think they're trying to do the same as what they did with Daniel Harris in Halloween 4 and Halloween 5? And a little bit, shall we say, Sabrina Carpenter, and a little bit what they did with Samantha Carpenter in Scream 5, where it's like they're connected to a serial killer through blood, so they might become one.
So it's kind of generational trauma type stuff.
Maybe.
It's kind of getting into, yeah.
I've got another reading of the full film, but I'm going to leave it to the end.
Okay, yeah.
Just on the story as well, I think my other kind of issue with it, just to get it out of the way, because I don't want to be, as I said, I don't want to be shitting on the film, but Michael's away kind of doing his own thing, and Laurie and Annie are just kind of doing their own thing until about fucking 20 minutes left of the film, right? And the people that Michael is out killing, we have no interest in. There's no stakes in it, right? So he kills the coroners, then he kills the trio in the truck, then he goes to the strippers and kills a few people there. So it's like nobody related to the story.
No.
Whilst the rest of the characters are having this kind of like soap-like dynamic, like an American soap with, hey, we're at the brackets. Another day at the brackets, like, who likes this on a pizza? Or can we get this kind of pizza bread? And yeah, she's having some nightmares. Can you make sure she's all right? You've kind of got that idea. And then, we cut away from that family to the celebrity of the soap, which is Malcolm McDowell's Loomis trying to sell his new book. Do you know what I mean? And they don't tie together. And I personally think Annie is wasted. She doesn't really even get to leave the Brackett house for most of it. I think there's one scene where they're in their coffee shop or something.
Does she even appear there? There's another girl that looks like her.
Yeah, there's
dark hair.
Again, I don't really.
What up, Dick Licker?
I don't really care about those characters either. Like, I couldn't tell you their names.
Yeah, I've not even noticed.
So there's a lot of characters in here that I'm just like, why we with these people? And I think it's a shame because Annie spends 85-90% of the film stuck in the Brackett house, and then Michael shows up and kills her.
So that's that one of the big things, the big differences in the director's cut is it goes into this. It shows you a lot more of Laurie and Annie's relationship in turmoil. The scene at the start after Laurie wakes up, she goes into the bathroom. You see all the pills and all that kind of stuff, and cuts to going downstairs. This is the morning as well, and the fucking place is in darkness, which again is, I think, is reading into the families, how they are how they see the world now. Everything is black.
Mm-hmm.
The Sheriff Brackett says something, having breakfast and stuff like that. I can shat myself there, man. I thought it was Michael Myers coming to get me.
If I just tried to jump into the room there.
Brackett's leaving, going to work. She tells him to be, look after what he's eating and stuff like that. He leaves. You coming in, Papa? Come on. They sit down, have breakfast, and then in the theatrical version, it cuts. But in the director's cut, the scene keeps going.
Okay.
And you see this switch from Laurie when Annie says to her, "One thing at a time."
Yep, that's in the cut I watched.
Does it keep going?
It's like one thing at a time. Then she has a go at Annie.
She flips. She goes absolutely nuts.
Yeah,
that's in it.
There. Yeah, because that's why I kind of get a little bit annoyed, because for me personally, at this moment in time, Laurie doesn't know she is related to Michael.
No.
So her and Annie technically have went through just as much trauma. If anything, Annie has been butchered by Michael, so she's actually went through a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I get a wee bit pissed off at Laurie in this one.
Yeah.
And also with Annie, like, when she's murdered by Michael, and I don't know what Rob Zombie was thinking, but I'm pretty sure when Michael arrives in the house to kill her, she's clothed, and then when she's found, she's naked. I'm pretty sure she's. All you see is blood and flesh.
Yeah, she might be.
Bear in mind, in the last episode, we spoke about the fact that she was willing to get her boobs out so that she could be looked at as a woman and not just a child actor anymore. Fair, we're now over that. Like,
yeah.
Why now? Like, there was no sex scene in it. That's what I mean. Like, it might have been the classic. She was going for a shower or a bath.
I think she is going for that, but then she is covered, and then you see Michael kind of coming out in the shot, and I love that scene, by the way. That scene is brilliant. I think it's great. You just sort of, there's no noise or anything. There's no, Michael's, in that corner, and he like fucking creaks in a floorboard or something. She just senses that someone's in the room with her, and she just turns, and it cuts slow motion, her running.
Yep.
And then it just sort of fades into something else. It goes into a car. The car approaching with Laurie and her friend, and all you hear is just the
chaos.
The chaos.
Yeah.
And it's fucking the ow. I think it's great.
Fair,
I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think it's so well shot.
It's actually, for Rob Zombie, it's pulling it back a wee bit and only showing the aftermath.
Only showing the after. Again, in that grabbing, pulling, you could have ripped off her, whatever.
True.
He's fucked her up beyond repair.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think it's, and get into that, I don't know what it's like in the version you've seen when Brackett finds her. Masterclass in performing, I think.
Yeah.
When he's got up the stairs and he's like, he puts his hands out, and someone, I watched something recently like, why is he acting like that? And I was like, that's great acting. He goes up, and I think he goes, Sheriff, you don't want to go in there, and he goes like that, and he goes like, and then you're just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And the way he sees her and finds her, and the sobbing and the things that he's saying are just like, that is grief right there laid out. It's masterfully performed.
There's also
absolutely brilliant.
2 scenes after it where Brackett is calmed down and he's sitting in the porch.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the sheriffs comes out and he's like, we've had a witness of a really large man carrying a woman from a burning car. And I think he just knows it's Michael, but he just sits for like a few beats. Then the sheriff says to me, do you want me to go and check it out? Brackett just leans forward a wee bit, and he doesn't stand up as if let's go. He moves his body very subtly forward as if, and that's enough to say, I'm coming. I'm going to still lead this. I want revenge. I need to put a stop to this. It's just a subtle move that he does, and it's great.
Wow, I really fancy watching more films with him in it.
Yeah.
It's no Chucky.
Can we actually, just on characters, what about the recast of young Michael?
Yeah, I think one of my notes said they could have done without him.
Okay, so they actually filmed it with the original Michael, and when they got back to the edit, he just looked too old.
Damn.
Compared to the previous film, so they had to go and reshoot again with a new Michael. I don't think he does anything bad. I think it's just a miscast. I think he's too cute. And as you said, he's not really adding much anyway. But other Michael from the original Halloween, young Michael from Rob Zombie's other Halloween, he had this look in his eye, this menace. It's just something's not quite right.
Yeah.
I don't think he's adding too much. Even that opening scene, you could have had that opening scene where he's talking about the dream that he had, where his mum came in a horse and took him away. If it was one scene, that'd be fine, but he's all over this film. Yeah. It kind of takes me out a little bit.
Definitely. I think that's one of the notes as well. It's like, maybe could. Yeah, what's the line? It's like, I found Boo. Can we be a family again? Or something like that, he says. And I think just with the performance of young Michael in the original film, it's just like, to see this new guy, you're like, I don't know.
But you also, because I don't know if the actor's still acting, so to give them credit, if these were reshoots, he might have only had like 2 days' notice to learn the lines and try and do something with them.
Yeah.
So it might not be down to performance. It might be like, man, we've got like 2 days to shoot 20 scenes.
Yeah. Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah, so the coroners, who are the ones taking Michael's body to the mortuary.
Sons of Anarchy.
And the other guy, what's the other guy's name again? I know him. He was in Barbarian. Richard Brake,
Yeah.
his name is.
Yeah.
I mean, again, one of my problems was with the first Rob Zombie film is the characters being quite unlikable. And these two guys, man, are talking about fucking corpses and what's the difference between jam and jelly? You can't jelly your dick in a corpse, right? And I'm just like, this is disgusting. And then I'm thinking to myself, they're making me want to hate them, so when Michael kills them, I really appreciate it, like they did with the bully in the first Halloween. But no, because they hit a cow. and the cow does most of the work. Anyway, so like, what was the point then? Like, whereas, see if they had made them really nice guys, and they hit the cow, and one of them's sitting there trapped, we'll feel sorry for them as Michael goes to take them out the game.
Yeah.
And I just think you don't need to make every character vile, because these two men are vile.
Oh, they're vile, aye.
The trio with their truck that Michael's walking on their land, and I've already told them. Two guys are vile there. The two guys in the strippers are vile. It's like, just create some likeable characters.
Yeah.
And I think that is what this film is missing, because I do not relate to any of those characters. I do not like the characters, so I'm just watching Michael kill arseholes for an hour.
Yeah.
And that's one of my main kind of issues, I think, with it.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but it's funny as well at the same time, like, I know what you mean. And I think that's part of, I think, the ethos of this film is, yeah, there's a lot of shit people in the world. It's bleak. It's, looking at trauma, PTSD, there's a lot of blackness in that. And I think it's kind of rippled through all the other characters. But the film is bleak. I don't think you're supposed to feel anything good whilst watching this film.
But also, if they made those characters likable and then they hit a cow, and then Michael starts ripping them apart, I'm still not going to feel good. I'm probably going to feel worse, actually.
Again, it's a weird thing. The guy in the passenger seat, who's probably the worst of the two of them, I love his death scene.
Just a shard of glass.
Shard of glass, and then the way he wakes up, and it's like the ow.
Yeah, it's if he's got a bad back.
Aye.
And every time the van's nudged.
It's like it totally brings you in.
And I think it's because it stays in a close-up, so you don't actually see where he's injured.
Where he's injured, yeah. It almost looks like he's trying to cough something, like a bit of glass up or something. It's just so weird and uncomfortable. But I was kind of, and again, I think this was a good choice as well from him. Is like, instead of him waking up and just screaming his head off, you're like, okay. But this guy's kind of like, he's telling the audience, come here a minute, I want to tell you something. That's the way I kind of read it. I think that's a good from a performing aspect. Is sometimes you need to bring the audience to you rather than get out to them. And I think that there's a bit in that.
Yeah, he's a good horror actor. And I think Rob Zombie can see that in him, because that's why he holds the camera there. He only cuts to see a little bit of Michael's feet getting out the van and coming round, but he doesn't need to show this actor in a wide, a mid shot. You know, he just stays on the close up.
Yeah.
And that's enough.
Yeah. Poor cow.
Poor cow, yeah. But then poor dog later on. Michael eats the dog. When he had a perfectly good cow sitting there.
Michael eats the dog, aye. And you've got that's right. Michael eats the dog, and Laurie has the reaction of, she tastes like what he's eating, showing that sort of connection between both of them.
Because
does it not work? I don't know.
Michael really doesn't like dogs, because in the original Halloween he kills a dog.
Yeah, he does, yeah. And
then I think it's Halloween 4 he eats a dog. And then he eats a dog in this one as well.
He's got to eat something, isn't he?
Well, he's a perfectly good cow. There's a perfectly good cow.
I could have fed him for a year.
Exactly.
See, in the therapist's office, on that version, does it go into when Laurie, she asks her to look at the
Rorschach painting?
Rorschach.
Yeah.
Was that there as well?
Yeah. and it said, maybe I watched the director's cut, I don't know, but it said on it, she says, "What do you see?" And she says, "A white horse."
White horse.
And then she goes, "What does that mean?" That's a girl that likes white horses.
Aye.
And that's it. Like, it's like, what? As an audience member, what do I take from that? However, Laurie does have a great line, and I never noticed it any time before watching it. She says, "I climbed the wall and then I fell," or "I climbed the wall and fell," right? And to me, that's what she's going through. Like, she's Michael being the wall, like she got over the wall, she beat the wall, as in she beat Michael, and then she's been falling ever since.
That's a great analogy for it. Yeah,
you know, like all this trauma. It's like she got over this epic thing that happened to her in her life, and ever since beating that, she's felt worse.
Yeah,
and that's what I think that one line I think explains her kind of. I don't know if we can call it an arc, but it's what she's going through.
It's what she's going through. And I think, like, you know, the whole PTSD angle and trauma, I think it's one of the best, probably certainly maybe horrors that I've seen of someone with complex trauma, or mood shifts, how everything changes, the way she lashes out at people. And I love the interaction with her therapist, because she's literally begging for medication, and you know, she's talking about, you know, your breath work and all these other things, and she's like, fuck it, I don't need that, I want this is what I fucking want, give me it now. Just shows you how fucking distraught she is. And again with Annie, it's like, totally, some people can just get over things, some people are just born that way, and it's just that, you know, whatever.
I'll give some credit to Laurie. Annie's still got her parent. We never found out what happened to Annie's mum, but Annie's still got a parent, whereas Laurie's went through this and lost both her parents.
Both her parents, yeah.
Also, that scene that you are speaking about, where Laurie is shouting and screaming at her therapist, did remind me of Michael shouting at Loomis.
Yeah.
And like with anger and just want to go home and want to get out of this place. I have to get out of here. She's like, I need the pills. Fuck you and all this. It's very similar.
Yeah.
And both of them talking to a therapist type doctor.
Yeah. Who have failed them, in a sense. Loomis has failed Michael. You could look at it that way, where he has failed him. He didn't cure him.
Yeah.
Has he failed him? Therapist as well, Margot Kidder. Fucking hell.
Yeah, and for audiences listening, who's that?
Lois Lane and Amityville.
Amityville, yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about Michael then? Just a little bit more? Because we started talking about the kind of grunting as he kills, and he never done that in the last film. I spoke already saying, therefore, I thought Zombie was kind of degrading his own work because he's changing the character. The mask as well. There'll be a scene, Michael's wearing the mask, then he's taking the mask off, then he's got it on again, and then he's got it off. And I'm just like, why is he taking it on and off?
Yeah.
Like, why is he not just keeping it on? Even when it rips, I thought, okay, the stripper rips the mask almost in two, but he still puts it on again after that. And I just don't understand that as well, because the whole idea of Michael, even in the previous film, is that, you know, he is darkness, he is the abyss, blackness. But in this one, he decides to kind of make him like more human. So there's the scene where Michael and imaginary young Michael and imaginary mum come across a billboard that is for Loomis's new book. And Michael's not got a mask on there, it's daylight, and you can actually see in his eyes that he's pissed off.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, right, so you're giving him these real human emotions, plus the grunting, and, you know, way back in the original Halloweens, you know, the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. Not here, it's not, but even in Rob Zombie's worlds, it's like, these eyes will deceive you. Loomis in the previous one does say Michael is the boogeyman. And now we're almost bringing him down to be this, just this human. And with the mask going on and off, I just didn't really get that. I thought maybe that it was going to be the mask is off when he's talking to his mum. Right? But it's not, because there's that scene, which was in the trailer, where the little boy runs along Haddonfield and stops in front of Michael, and he's like, "Are you a giant? Can we be friends?" He's not got the mask on there. You can just see his eyes in the darkness. And on this note, why don't we bring up, towards the end, when Michael and Loomis are face to face, Michael removes his mask, looks at Loomis, says "die," and then punches him in like the chest.
Not stab him?
Maybe he stabs him. Couldn't tell. But like, why? Like, what? It's a very human thing to do to your therapist.
Yeah, you're kind of. I think what you're saying is like the absence, like we spoke about the absence of light and things, and it's like this is evil incarnate, which is what Carpenter's vision was. Is just there's no explanation, but his zombie's choices in this is making him look and feel more human, but at the same time making him more aggressive.
Yeah.
So it's like, which is it?
I know it's weird. Do you want to go on to talk about kind of Loomis and the profiteering off the book?
See the whole thing with the whole book thing and the TV show. It's like I don't know how Loomis gets to Haddonfield. He's just there.
He's just. I thought he was doing the book tour in that, and the TV stations ran about Haddonfield because that is.
A bit,
well, that's where it happened.
A tour, and then I suppose, yeah.
So I thought it was like he's talking to the news crew. He's having like in the local bookshop. He's having the launch
because he has no idea Michael's alive.
I know.
No one does. No one knows Michael's alive in this film up until the end.
But also, they just
really?
They never found the body. We're just going to leave it at that. Like. But it has to be somewhere. UFO? Like. But I do think the kind of the book stuff is the most interesting part of H2. Like, and I think it really starts when he's doing the book signing. And there's less than an hour of this film to go. And the guy walks up to get the book signed, and he opens up and he's like, "Oh, who's this?" And it's a photo of Linda, and it's Linda's dad, and it's a father's rage and revenge at Loomis profiteering off these murders.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is he'd already had his first book out, but that's kind of like a family murder, so it's not like a town that's affected by it. And I think it's really interesting that Loomis uses, "Oh, if it's a shark attack, it'd be fine." And it's true. Like, what? Why would that be okay? Because it's still people that's traumatized from it. If Jaws really happened and you did a book on Amity after it, people would be actually okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
But it is interesting that, is it Weird Al or is it the host says, so you're comparing Jaws? You're comparing a shark to Michael Myers, and at that point, Loomis says, "No, of course I'm not," which is making Michael more like a man again. If Donald Pleasance's Loomis was asked that, he'd be like, "Yes,
yeah,
he is a shark."
Yeah, he would have totally.
And they're trying to change it in this one, which is kind of weird. But the profiteering thing with the book is interesting because you've got so many people that do it now with like true crime.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know, you've got the police, retired police officers doing interviews for your Netflix docs. The victims' families do interviews. They'll be making money. Lawyers will come on and do stuff as well who, like, you know, were either the lawyer for the victim or for the serial killer. Gail Weathers wrote books after...
Oh, yeah, she did.
After Woodsboro.
Oh, she did.
But even, as I said, Michael, when he sees that billboard, seems raging. Laurie finds out and she's raging. Going back to Sheriff Brackett, he reads the new book and he's like, "You son of a bitch," because he's told the story that Brackett told Loomis in the police car in Halloween 1 about him taking the baby, went up for adoption, then the Strodes took it.
Okay. So Brackett knows.
Brackett knows what?
So do I see earlier on when I mentioned this, reading the book in the first film? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that scene there.
The scene where Brackett tells Loomis is in Halloween 1.
Yeah.
But he tells him to keep it quiet, not to tell MD.
So Brackett knew. That's right. Brackett knows Annie and knows Laurie is Michael's brother.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Aye.
So basically, what happens in Halloween is when Deborah Myers commits suicide, Brackett's on the scene.
That's right.
Sees this poor child, puts it into like an adoption home or social services in another town, but then the Strodes end up with Laurie. Now, how he knows that, I don't know, but he does. He finds out that it's his friend.
It's his friend.
Who's adopted Laurie. So he tells...
How would he know that? No, that's like a cop, isn't he?
And adoption papers and stuff like that, I guess. But my point is he tells Loomis to keep it quiet, and Loomis then decides to publicise it in a book, which is a very Gay Weathers thing to do.
Oh, totally, aye.
You know, that's what Sydney and Gay always argue about. You had to put it in the book, didn't you? Or Dewey gets annoyed at that as well.
It's funny, so I kept thinking in my head there, and again I was like, why didn't Loomis tell Laurie before putting the book out there? Listen, I've got something to tell you.
I've got an answer for that too.
Have you?
But no, I want to leave it till we work through everything else. But all that happens past the halfway mark, and this is the more exciting thematic things rather than the white horse and the angel. This is actually, I think, more interesting, and it's more things.
The plot is plot driven, isn't it?
No, I don't even think it's just plot. It is plot driven, but also it's the stuff that an audience can relate to. We can't relate to seeing a white horse in a field and talking to our dead parents. Well,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
I think he's just maybe trying to mix a sort of like arty aesthetic with the brutal realism of his film. It's like try to combine these two things.
Yeah,
something that looks good on screen. You're like, it actually looks good, but you're like, what the fuck is it there for?
Totally, and. And the whole, like, the book and Loomis is really interesting, but he never seems to feel bad at all. Even his agent is like, this is messing with people's lives. And he's like, oh, it happened to me as well. Like, it's fine. And then as soon as he finds out about Annie's death, he's like, it's okay, I'll go in and save the day. Don't worry, everyone, when they're at the barn, he's like, I've got this.
Yeah, because it's when he gets, and I think it's when he gets on the talk show there at the piss at him. It's almost like he then starts to feel, I don't know if you want to call it remorse, because he's not had a long way to get there, has he? It's just like, I'm in this hotel that's quite close to where this radio station was, our TV show, and then it's like I get really embarrassed there. Oh, I've seen the news. I better go and sort this out. I feel like I want to redeem myself,
but he doesn't show anything.
Doesn't show anything
because he just seems pissed off that it's not going his way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I think he maybe feels that it's because he spent 15 years, 17 years trying to reach this guy, and he wasted a lot of time. Yeah. And it's just like, I want to get fucking paid for this.
I think that's exactly what it is, and I think that's something we can relate to, and that's why it's a more interesting. He should address it a bit more. Like, Loomis should say that in some form, you know? Like, I've wasted 20 years of my life with this wee fucker. He's gave me nothing back. I'm writing another book.
Yeah.
So here's my interesting read on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm clutching at straws, but I think it is a more interesting read. So Halloween 1, Rob Zombie's Halloween 1, finishes with Laurie shooting Michael in the face. Screams, blood, everything. Cut to this, she's walking down the street. Sheriff Brackett finds her, takes her to hospital. This film ends with Laurie in a mental home. And she looks up and she smiles down the corridor. What if she's been in the mental home the whole film, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to still make it tie in, it's not just like, oh, it was all a dream, right? What if she's in the mental home and Loomis's book has been released and she has got a copy of it, and that has made her have these visions and think of everything else, because she is seeing the mum, she's seen Deborah Myers, she's seen young Michael. There is images of them in the book. You actually get a close-up of that.
Yeah.
So that gives reason for her to see dead Deborah dead, well not dead, but young Michael. You know, maybe she gets shot at the end as well. Like, why would the police shoot her? As soon as she comes out the barn, she gets shot. There's a lot of things that would tie it together if actually she's just mental. Like, how can she shoot a man in the face and then get up and start killing everyone again? Maybe it is all just in her head.
Yeah.
And with Rob Zombie being so pissed off about not wanting to make this, maybe he's like, I'll just make it, and it doesn't then fuck with his original version.
Yeah.
Bless me, sorry. So there's an interesting way to look at it is like, she has just a mental home. Loomis has released a book. She's read the book, and it's fucked with her mind even more. Nah, do you not like that?
No, I do like it. The ending, what ending was it? So the ending you seen in that?
So Loomis goes into the barn. He gets thrown through the barn back outside. Michael comes out after him, pulls off his mask, stabs Loomis, says die. The police shoot Michael. Laurie walks out, gets shot, and she wakes up in the mental home.
I'm sure
close up.
I think that's the director's cut you've seen.
I don't know what other ending there is. Can't remember.
The other ending is...
Hold on, 2 seconds again. You have a think of the other ending.
Aye,
she
go
needs out. Just in my head in. We need to wrap this one up soon. My battery's going to die on this Mac.
What the hell happens in there?
No. Theatrical. What the hell happened in there?
The original ending of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 featured in the director's cut as a bleak, nihilistic conclusion where all main characters die. Michael kills Dr. Loomis, is shot by the police, and Laurie puts on Michael's mask, grabs the knife, and is shot and killed by police, ending in a sanitarium hallucination.
That's right. She puts on the mask. Is that the version you saw?
Nope.
When life gives you time alone, get your restaurant favourites in as little as 25 minutes delivery.
Let's see, this might be a full thing, so I think this might be 17 minutes, so we're not going to watch it for it. Fucking hell, man.
Looking at her biological mother and young brother with the white horse as Love Hurts plays over the end credits. In the theatrical cut, Laurie survives the standoff with police, but we still have that final shot seeming to indicate, well, she survived, she has lost her battle mentally, and has finally joined her brother in seeking revenge on the world that wronged them, and took her family away from her. In the director's cut, this indicates that this is what she sees as she lays dying. She is reunited with her family in death. Zombie considers the director's cut finale as the real ending.
That's what
the Weinstein Company obviously
seen
wanted
this.
to keep the reimagining franchise going, so they made him reshoot it with what ended up being in the theatrical cut. Well, they tried to move on to a Halloween 3, even considering a Halloween 3D at one point. It never happened, and the rights eventually reverted back to Universal Studios, who tapped Blumhouse to bring us the 2018 sequel, Halloween. Really? Now there are 3 films from the franchise that just have the name Halloween. Somehow, this is still the Weinsteins' fault. Fucking Weinsteins. Thank you for watching our show.
Did you see those kind of art sequences throughout the film?
There was only one art sequence where it was young Michael, and his mum, and there's like lots of pumpkins and a big food table, and then Laurie's on the table.
In a coffin, she.
I think she was just lying on a table.
No. There's definitely a bit where you see Laurie in a kind of glass coffin, and she starts to violently like try and get out. And
Maybe I did see that actually. Maybe I did see that.
So she puts on the mask in the theatrical ending.
Mm-hmm.
She puts Michael in a. It's not. She puts him against some kind of machine, and it impales him. And she takes the mask and puts it on. No,
never seen any of that. So weird. Moist Strawberry says, "Love Halloween 1 and 2 from Rob Zombie, and I loved his take on it." And Chris Kelly also says, "Rob Zombie 1 was an interesting take on it. Rob Zombie 2 was two incredibly different films competing with each other for a runtime."
Interesting.
So I think he's saying all the art stuff was one kind of movie, and just all the killing and brutality was another, and they're kind of competing.
Yeah, competing with each other.
And I can see that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Any other notes?
I really want to know what version you watched.
Don't know. I love the dig that Loomis has where he wants PG tips and the Americans don't know what that is.
Oh, what does he say again?
Can I get a PG tips tea? It's obviously a brand of tea in the UK, but obviously it's in America and they're like, what? What is that? So, Chet, the bringer of death.
What about him?
Don't know. He's just the guy. It's Haywire from Prison Break that played Chet, the bringer of death, who wants the autograph. He's the real weirdo before Linda's dad shows up.
Is he in Prison Break?
Yeah, he plays a weirdo in that as well. Important question. Who is Starving Marvin?
Did they ever find the original Marvin? That's right.
Was it Lee Marvin? What is your favourite kill or horror moment?
I think the nurse. I think her death. Olivia Spencer's. Is it Olivia Spencer? Aye. I think her death is
Octavia.
Octavia. Sorry, Octavia. Yeah, the other two. What's the other ones? And the guys in the field. The stripper scene was quite brutal as well. He snaps that guy's arm. And he's kind of.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked up.
I think he's also in Lost.
Aye, might have been actually.
Ernst. I think he was Ernst in Lost.
Ernst,
You got
was he?
Ernst on you. Some listeners might remember that. It's when the dynamite blows up.
Ah, right, aye.
My favourite kill is outside the strippers, and it's the guy that goes to take the rubbish out, and he runs it to Michael, and Michael basically just, like Kane, it gives him a choke slam.
He does.
And then it just stomps in his head like twice, and it just turns to mush.
Yeah, the guy's like, you don't want to mess with me. Oh, I'll fuck you up. Not that. And it's like, people not look at this guy and go, run.
Yeah.
2 seconds. Ah, yeah. No, I'll go straight to the lights for here. All right, cheers. Bye. Yeah. Come on, just look at the guy and go, you haven't got no chance, mate.
Because you've got the guy from Sons of Anarchy, and
I
Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and The Dark Knight.
What's his name? Boone? Mark Boone?
Yeah, Boone.
Mark Boone.
Yeah, he messes with him as well. I mean, he's a big guy, but
he's a
come
big
on.
guy. I think one of the questions we spoke about, or no, maybe not asked, and again, it's kind of been lingering with me, is like, this is not 1 year on, it's 2 years on. What has Michael been doing? Just running about the fields, frolicking, just having a life, just being one with nature.
Maybe.
Yeah, calm down a wee bit.
Where'd you get the jacket from?
Who knows?
Big hood.
Big hood.
Yeah. Also, right, let's be honest here. How is he fitting that beard under the Halloween mask when he's got it on? That's some beard.
Yeah. Do you see that? Does it not kind of show in this one a wee bit more? No?
What do you mean?
Do you not see it kind of poking out?
Maybe. I mean, it's all a bit raggedy and flimsy in this one.
It's funny because in the first one, because Tyler Main is like hardly any hair, so they decided to just stick hair on the underside of the mask to make it look as if he's put it over.
Oh, in this one?
In the first one.
Oh, right, okay.
He's got long hair. Michael's obviously long hair. And to stop putting the wig on, then the mask, they just went, just have hair hanging out.
Right, got you.
Just to fucking get rid of that. That's quite good.
Yeah. What would you rate H2 out of 5?
I like it. I do like it. I'm not going to lie. For some reason, I'd relate to some of the stuff that they're talking about in there with mental health stuff, but I think I enjoy it. There is parts of it where you're just like, oh, fuck, this doesn't really add up. But as a viewing experience for me, I'm going to go with a 3.5.
3.5. Fair.
Which is... I think if I hadn't watched the theatrical, I'd have maybe been like 2.5, maybe a 3, but I don't know. I think the theatrical does add a bit more to it, especially the relationship stuff with Laurie and Annie and Sheriff Brackett.
Yes. Yeah, Team Brackett.
Team Brackett, man.
I'm going to go for... It just pulls in a 3 out of 5.
I'm surprised.
As a film, not as a Halloween film.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's trying to say some interesting things, but 3 or 4 viewings in, man, I still can't work out what it's trying to say with its main visual art form. It's experimental art type stuff. I can't really work it out. So yeah, a 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 cows.
I think it's funny sometimes when you watch, like, I used to watch try and track down a lot of kind of art house horrors for. There was a lot going about in the 90s and 2000s. I remember watching and trying to understand, but there was very, very low budget, and I was just like, I've got no fucking clue what's going on there.
Yeah.
No clue. Don't know if there's an element of that in it as well. You're just like, I don't know.
Half of Halloween 2 feels like it's now, it's before its time, but you're covering a mic, by the way. Oh, right, you meant, yeah. Half of Halloween 2 feels like it's trying to be an A24 film.
Yeah.
And half of it's trying to be a Rob Zombie film.
Yeah. Try to mix the two together is just like fucking hell, man. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
Do you think it's shot? I think it's shot pretty well. I don't know. I love his aesthetic. I love something about the seeing those characters with how they come. You know, even things like Laurie's hair. She's got that sort of dreadlock kind of type look. I think there's something quite, I don't want to say romantic, I don't know if that's the right word, but there's something about it that I'd really identify with and just see this dark tone that's done really, really well. And I think that's a lot to do with the set as well. Something about it just fucking brings me in. I don't know, it's hard to describe.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it on that one, but more on the Rob Zombie's first Halloween.
One.
Yeah. What is your creative recommendation this week?
I would like to hear yours first so that I get one.
Okay. My one this week would be a film that we've seen pre-Fright Fest, but it'll probably be out now by the time this episode comes out, and it was Primate that we've seen, the monkey film.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Primate, the monkey film. It's basically Cujo with a monkey.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun, good kind of set pieces. The monkey is quite visually horrifying at times, but there's also a few laughs in there. I know Stig doesn't like a laugh in a horror movie, but
hey!
But yeah, I would go with Primate.
I guess maybe Scream 7, maybe we went and saw Scream 7 recommendation.
You keep saying it, me and you went to see Scream 7, we didn't even go together.
We didn't go?
We went with Sky.
I went with Sky and Dove, that's right. I mean, I guess if you're a horror fan, you've probably watched it already. You're probably go and see it. But think that's an episode in itself to talk about.
Yeah. What we could say is, you know, we weren't the biggest fans of Scream 7. There's still some really good stuff in there. It made over $65 million at the box office.
Yeah.
Scream 8 has been greenlit, so if you want to go see Scream 8, you have to see Scream 7.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Yeah, but we'll leave that for a future episode. We don't know what we're bringing you next because we've not really decided. Maybe the people under the stairs.
Yeah, we can talk. We've got a
special guest coming on for that.
Yeah.
But as always, I am Gary.
I'm still Seg.
And if you're loving what you're hearing, you can rate and review the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can follow the show on TikTok and Instagram at The Horror You can follow the show on TikTok and Instagram at The Horror Cut Show, or you can leave your comments and discussions on the films we are reviewing on Facebook at The Horror Cut Show. So hopefully join us next time for The People Under the Stairs.
And thank you for listening.
Bye.
We better get back, because it will be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare, huh?
We're friends to the end, remember?
This is the end, friend.